Good evening, all, and thank you for tuning in for today's interview to All India Runners Motivation. Today's interview is with a running legend of India, someone who never knew he could run before he started, but so he started late. But when he started, in a blaze, and he actually won more than 32 international medals for India. His forte being 1,500 meters and 5,000 meters. He has represented India in a lot of international meets. His national record stood for more than 2 decades. He created national records for both 1,500 meters and 5,000 meters. He has been awarded the Arjuna Award for his service to the nation in athletics in the year 1971, and also the Chhatrapati Award by the Maharashtra state government. Yes, today's guest, it's an honor and privilege for me to be talking to him. Today's guest is Edward Sequeira. He is also very fondly known as Eddie. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
Same here, sir. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me. I must thank Simon D'Souza, sir, for connecting us. So thank you, Simon D'Souza, if you're hearing it. So how is the weather in Bombay, sir?
Well, it is just nice, very cool, and the weather is very fine.
Very nice, sir. So I love the blazer you're wearing, sir. If you can just tell the viewers about your blazer, it looks so nice.
Oh, I've always kept this blazer because of the Olympic Games that I participate, and I keep it very well in my cupboard, so that this is the remembrance of mine.
Thank you very much, sir. I was doing a lot of research on you, and I there were a few interviews I could actually read about you, but nothing much is spoken about your childhood. So if you can just tell the viewers about your childhood, where you were born, and your schooling days, and how was it? So you can just tell them.
Well, I was staying well, because I was coming from a very poor family, and we had a small house, 14 by 14, where we were two brothers and two sisters. We were staying in one room with a common toilet. This is how I came up, and I stayed there till I gave up my athletic career.
Okay.
After I was in St. Paul's High School, and in that school, there was no athletic meets at all.
Okay.
Or else, at the age of 16, 17, I would have been the India's champion if I had to be at that time.
Okay. When did this love for athletics started?
Well, this athletics started, I joined the railway in
Okay.
1959 on the 1st of January. And then on 10th of February, on my first payday, my father expired.
Oh,
And then my father did say that one day you will come up to the standard before he could die. He said that, but I did not know what he meant that.
okay.
But in the railways, in 1959, I joined the railways, and in 1960, after 1 year, we had an apprentice course.
Okay.
And Mr. Patil, who was the chief of the training, he says, I want every athlete, every person to participate in athletic meet. And so I took part in 100 meters and won that race, where Baldev Singh, who was an Olympian long jumper, picked me up and said, come to Khalsa College. You can go
Okay.
and have a training.
Yeah. So the story about your 100 meters was also that you did not have a proper equipment to run in. So the dress what you wore, if you can just tell the viewers about the dress, and you won.
Yeah, I was running with my long pants.
Okay.
I had nothing, only ordinary shoes and my long
Okay.
pants on the 100
Okay.
meters. It was
Okay.
nice. Mr. Baldev Singh, who was an Olympian, to pick me up and said, come to Khalsa College. And I was working in the railways from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Okay, so it is nice that so before were you following any sports before that?
No, I did not
You-
take part in any athletic meets or anything else. So,
Okay, so we must thank that officer who made it compulsory for everyone to participate in the sports event. We must thank on India's behalf to that officer because if he had not forced you, then you would not have ran.
not a brand. Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, so it was nice of him to do that, and the career or your career kind of changed after that, right?
Yeah, my career really changed. In 1 year, Baldev Singh was training me up as an Olympian, and he said that what is the thing that you want to be in athletics? I said I want to go for the Olympic Games. That
Okay,
was my ambition. Yes, I will do it. And he says, you have got that chance. You have to train very hard. So I started training with him for 1 year. And within 1 year, I became the state champion.
okay,
This is the last improvement that I said in 1960.
wonderful. That's nice. So I mean, how was it? How was the training under Olympian Baldev Singh?
Oh, it was very good. He was a long jumper, but he knew how to train in Khalsa College and also running and training me up and spoke to me how one should come up and all that. That is why I came up. And I had that talent. And he was telling me that you got the talent of becoming one of the India's greatest athletes. And that is how
Ah,
I kept up to go ahead.
wonderful. How old were you when you actually had got this dream of becoming an Olympian?
I was at that age, I was 21 that time. I took up very late in 21, 22.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, yeah, that's nice. So at the age of 21, your dream was to become to be an Olympian, and Baldev Singh also helped you.
Yeah, yeah. And
Wonderful.
that was my ambition to go for the Olympic Games and run with the world class run. This was my
Okay.
aim.
So at first, what event did you train in?
I was training in 800 meters.
800 meters, and you became a state champion within 1 year of training.
Yeah, 1 year of training of 800 meters. And
Wonderful.
in 1962, I represented our state in the national games, and I was selected for the camp at Patiala.
Okay.
That was the thing up, and I said, yes, I will do it now. That I had that determination in me.
Okay. So at the national games, do you remember your first medal win in national games?
National games, I got third place in 1962. I got the third
Okay.
place and I was selected for the camp at
Okay.
Patiala in 1962.
1962. Can you just tell us a bit about that race and how did you get to the stage of winning the medal or getting the medal?
Well, I represented my Maharashtra state there in 800 meters, and that is how I got in 800. Then I went for the 3 weeks camp at Patiala, where I was trained by Saini, J.S. Saini, who was an India's coach.
Yeah.
Now, happened there is he trained me up and said, Eddie, for training, please see that you have a determination, dedication, and the willpower. I said, yes, I have got all these things in me, and I will get the Indian record or something like that. And so what has happened is I participated in the All India Railway meet was there at Delhi after the
Okay.
3 weeks camp. And there I participated in 1500 meters because Saini changed me from 800 to 1500 meters.
Okay.
And he says, you are a 1500 meter runner starting camp. So he shifted me. And in All India Railway meet, I ran and created the new Indian Railway record and Indian record. That was my first record and the first Indian Railway record that I have created.
Wonderful. So, what was the strategy during that race, sir? Did you have any pre-race strategy that which you employed and which helped you to create that record?
No, we were training at Patiala. He was giving me all types of schedules that one should train for athletics. And so I had that determination in me that saying that I will win. But in winning that, I created the Indian Railway record and the Indian record. It was a shocking news for me also. And he was
Okay.
very tiny.
Okay. Can you just tell us a bit about Saini sir, because not many people know about, especially the youngsters today, do not know much about him. How was your interaction with him, and how was he as a coach, sir?
He was very good. He used to sit with us. He used to tell us how to run, what to do, all this training schedule in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, believe me, in 3 weeks, I created the Indian Railway record, which stood for 27 years, and the Indian record, which stood for 27 years. Unbroken.
Yeah.
That was the greatest thing that I have done for the records.
Okay. So, who were your contemporaries at that time, sir? When you were running, who were your major competitors? Who used to give you a very tough fight?
Sadara Singh was one person who was giving me a little tough. This one, he was behind me. But I
Okay.
never used to leave him because he and myself were the partners together to train.
Okay.
But he was a good partner for me so that he could pull. I used to pull him in the race.
Okay. So, you used to be together as a training partners also, and also while racing. So when it comes to running, it actually progressed really well when you were actually interacting with the world famous athlete and coach Otto Pelzler from
Yes.
Germany. Can you just describe us your interactions with him and your schedules with him, sir?
Well, Dr. Otto Pelzer himself was a world record holder. He was told by our federation to come and train our athletes. The first thing he sat with me and said, Eddie, you are not strong enough at the finish. He saw me running. But what you have to do is to take them on a striding power. You must have strides. And so he used to tell me to lead the field. Don't follow, but lead the field. He's saying following, you will cut off your strides. And so if people in India see me running, always in the gunshot, I used to run in front and finish also. And the first thing doctor said, he showed me how to run also. He was an athlete himself. So he showed me how the leg movement should be there, how the hand movement should be there, and you have to run relaxed. And so what he was telling me, the more relaxed you run, the faster you will go. And that is why I followed Dr. Otto Pelzer, because he was the man who showed me to run, and he was after my blood to take 5,000 meters. Not 1,500. 1,500 meter speed is for 5,000 meters. From a very long time he was telling me. And in 1962, we had a track trotters team. I know you know that.
Yes, in Bombay. Yeah.
It was a track trotters team which we started, Mervyn Jacoby and myself, in 1962 to produce athletes of juniors, 12 years, 14 years, 16 years at the university stadium. And Mervyn used to take them and bring them into the national standard. You could see that. And whenever I used to come to Bombay, I used to train at the university ground with my track trotters people.
Okay. That's
But
nice.
Still, Dr. Pelzer said, these three things are very important: determination, dedication, and the willpower. You must have that. And keep on. The one best thing he told me is, run for time, not for place. Place will come automatically. You run for time. So whenever I was running for the time. And the place was coming in. So this
Okay.
was what he told me. And he says, aim for something which is great. Aim for an Olympic medal. Don't aim for becoming a national champion, but aim for the Olympic Games, Commonwealth Games, and the Asian Games. These three games are important for you. And he gave me a big lecture. He says, you can do it. It's not that you can't, but don't get scared of anybody running with you. Also think that you are a world-class runner when you are running with them, or else you'll get frightened of them. This is what he has. Very good stuff.
Okay. So before you interacted with Dr. Pelser, how was your running style actually? And what you changed after meeting him?
After meeting him, he changed me how to run, and he showed me how the movement should come in, the leg movements, giving the striding power, the hand movements, which I was holding it little tight. He showed me all that, and he says, don't follow at all. You take the lead and finish it. This was his thing that he always said that to me.
So he later became a great mentor for you also, and he used to motivate athletes. Something which you learned from him. What were the things he used to do to motivate you and others?
No, he used to motivate all of us, sitting with us, talking to us, and he says, you have to win the race and give your best timings. He was after only giving best timing. He would be satisfied if I give a better timing than what I have given. That is why at the 1966, I improved my timing in such a way that I was running into the world standard in 1966.
Okay. I mean, so before we move ahead, there are a lot of people tuning in. I just wanted to bring in few people. Simon D'Souza sir is coming and saying, you look like you're going to run another Olympics now with your dress now. So he's saying hello to you. We got Dr. Sheetal and Dr. Shivaji Kole from Pune saying hello. We got Amrinda Nath Mondal coming and saying hello to you, sir. We have got another legend of Comrades Ultra Marathon, Satish Gujaran sir, who's coming, who's listening to you and also saying hello. We got Daya Chandravar from, he's actually an inspector from the north. So he's also from Uttarakhand, actually, from Uttarakhand Police, who's saying hello. Deven Sikwera is saying hello. Sampath Kumar is saying so. A lot of people are listening to you, and so it's nice, to have such a wide audience from different places listening to you.
Thank you.
At that time, when I hear, I had done this interview with Alex Silveira sir also, and when I'm hearing you, I hear that what I see that at that time there are a lot of international coaches coming into India and training our athletes. Our athletic federation at that time were working really hard to train, to bring in, to help athletes in India. Why are we not seeing such coaches, such legendary coaches coming to India now?
Well, I don't know why they are not coming, but I personally feel that foreign coaches coming inside who are the sports, they are the champions and world record holders. They motivate your athletes. They tell you what to do, how to do, what it is, and all that. That is why, in 1964, I represented India, my first Indian representation in 1964, and I was trying my level best for the Tokyo Olympic Games to qualify.
Yeah, I know. I will come to that. Before that, I just wanted to say one quick hello has come from Carlton Farao. He is the son of late Joe Farao and nephew of late Nicholas Farao. So he said that he has heard a lot about you from his dad and his uncle. So he is saying hello to you.
Thank you. I know Nicholas Farao very well.
Oh, okay. That's nice. So your athletics career really took off when you joined Tata's. It helped you really well. How did the change help you in improving as an athlete?
Well, in 1964, on the 14th of March, I joined Tata Steel in Bombay House because I found Tatas were giving all facilities for sportsmen. And if you see, Tatas had world-class runners world-class billiard players, hockey players, cricketers, and everything they were giving importance for. And 1964 was a thing I can never forget. I joined Railways in 14th of March 1964, and I went to Delhi to participate in the selection trials for the Tokyo Olympic Games. And I ran the 1500 meters, and the qualifying standard was 3 minutes 46.6 seconds, and I did it in 3 minutes 46.7 seconds, and I missed the qualifying standard by 0.1 second. I just
My
had
God.
to, 1 inch to pull, and I would have gone to the Tokyo Olympic Games.
Okay.
That was really bad because I was feeling it so bad that I missed the Tokyo Olympic Games. But I said, no, I will try for 1968, the Mexico Olympic Games. That is why I tried for the Mexico Olympic. In 1960, my first Indian representative was against the Germans. Germany had come here, and I participated there, and I got a second place.
Okay. I mean, missing the qualification time by 0.1 second. I mean, was the rule so strict that no consideration was given so that they could adjust it and say, okay, fine, you can go? There was no talk about that.
Very, very strict. They were not taking me. I just 0.1 second is nothing for 1500 meters.
Yeah.
I did not qualify. And I had to wait for the next Olympic Games.
4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years. So I said I must go for the Olympic Games and try for the Mexico Olympic Games in 68.
I mean, anyone who would have faced this, actually missing a qualification mark by 0.1 second, would have been disheartened. But I think your records came after that. 1962, 1966 is when all your records came. So was it like you running with a vengeance to ensure that you qualified?
No, but the thing is that I wanted to go for the Olympic Games. And I said after that, I started training very hard. So I said, I want to improve my timing. And then, as you know, my best timing was in 1966.
Yeah.
That was the day when I was running into the world standard. Because Jim Ryan was holding the world record in 3 minutes 35.6 seconds. And I was doing 3 minutes 43.7 seconds.
Okay. So you were running. I mean, at that time also that was another era of athletes where we had a lot of world class runners, including along with you. So who were the other runners who were also doing world class times along with you, sir, in India?
In India, Bahadur Prasad was there. Bahadur Singh was there, short putter. Praveen was there. All of them were there. Jagraj Singh was there. Everybody was there, And Kenny Powell was there in 100 meters, 200 meters, and all of them. When they were there for the national championship. And we were always together.
Okay. So at that time, that you also had another tragic event after that Olympic qualification, 0.1 seconds, where you were running in the Asian Games 1966. Tell us a bit about that race because it's very interesting. Not many people know about that race actually.
1966 was a year which I was running into the world standard. And in 1966, 5 members team of us went to Russia. We went and ran 2 international meets in Russia. And from Russia, we flew to Commonwealth Games in Jamaica. So I ran the Commonwealth Games in Jamaica. It was a mile race. In Commonwealth, they had a mile race.
Okay.
And I was the record holder for mile here in India. In 1966, I tried my level best in the mile. And then at the finish, it was such a fast race. I finished. And then I did 4 minutes, 0.1 second. And if I had to do 4 minutes, believe me, I would have been the first man in Asia to go below 4 minutes. That was the greatest thing. I would have loved to have that. Being Roger Bannister was the first man to run the 4 minutes barrier in the world, and I would have been the first man in Asia to go below 4 minutes. That was the really, I felt it very bad.
Okay. We are talking about the Asian Games also, 1966, where you were you are the sure winner of 1,500 meters, but something happened. Can you just tell the viewers about it, sir?
Well, 66, as you know, that I was running into the world standard. I broke the Asian record also. I was a record holder for Asia, and the best timing that I had in Asia. And so we went for the and the Asian Games at Bangkok. And I said, I will win that medal. That was for me easy for 3:43.7 seconds. I ran the race. I ran the heats very easily with 3 minutes 47 seconds with ease heat. And in the finals, what happened is the moment I start, I always lead. The moment I started, hardly I went to about 70 meters. Somebody on my right hit me on the elbow like this, and I fell off the track. I lost that medal. And I got a hit on my knee, and really, believe me, I was just in tears that I lost the medal for my country. And I was known as one of the unluckiest athletes in Asian Games at that time, 1966.
In fact, the winner of that race, the Japanese athlete, also visited in your hospital, right?
Yes, and Mr. Sawaki, who won that race with 47.6 seconds. He came, he says, sorry that you fell down, that you would have got this medal. But it was nice of him to say all this thing to me.
Yeah, he offered his medal to you.
He was saying, would have been your medal.
Okay, that is really nice of you. I mean, it's unheard of in nowadays in this era of of an athlete visiting, of the winner visiting the athlete who's fallen in the hospital and telling about. It's such a nice thing to do so.
Yeah, I said. Anyway, I've lost that medal, and then I said, let me try for the medal in the next Olympic Games. My mind was going, I must win at the Asian Games. That was the one.
In fact, you achieved that in 1970.
Yeah, that was, I had to wait for another 4 years.
Another 4 years.
And 1970, believe me, after 1968 Mexico, I missed the Olympic Games. Okay, then I wanted to go for the Olympic Games. So what I did in 68, after 68, I shifted my event from 1,500 to 5,000 meters because I was already having the record of mine in 5,000 meters. I was a holder of the 5,000 meters record also, which stood for 17 years. And what I did is shifted my event to 5,000. I ran the 5,000 in Asian Games at Bangkok in 1970. And I was on the lead in the 5,000 meters. And as I was finishing for the first place, I thought I was first place. From behind, Rosa from Ceylon came in and touched the tape. And I lost the gold also.
Oh. So this is like a series of 0.1 seconds, luck for you, right?
It was a very bad luck for me in the Asian Games.
So like 0.1 second was like you missed the qualification mark for Olympics, 0.1 seconds, the 5,000 meters, then you got the silver medal, but again somebody else. So that difference would have been again a 0.1 or 0.2 seconds again.
Yeah.
You were really good in 5,000 meters. Any reason why you did not start running 5,000 meters earlier than that?
See, let me tell you, believe me, Dr. Otto Pelzer was after my blood. You are the champion of the world in 5,000 and not in 1,500. That speed is for 5,000 meters. He was after me. So I used to say, Doc, 12 and a half rounds. And this is only 3 3/4 rounds. No, he was scared and all that. He was looking at the Olympic medal for 5,000 meters in 1966 when I was running. And I said, oh, what to do, doctor? And after 1968, I shifted to 5,000 meters and I went to the medal book in the Asian Games. I
Yeah.
should have taken it earlier.
You
It was
should.
it was my mistake. He was guiding me in the right direction. I
Okay.
think he himself was a world champion. So he was guiding me in the right, but I did not take it seriously. That was the only thing.
Yeah. 1972 Olympics, you qualified for the 5,000 meters, but again that Olympics had a lot of other issues, and it was an Olympics which was more famous because of the terrorist attack.
Attack
Um,
was there.
yeah, and you had almost a direct vision of that attack, right? Because it has happened just opposite your building.
Yeah. Well, that was really a fright for me. And I was running the 5,000 meters on that particular day only.
Okay.
And it was at 4:20 in the morning. When I was looking at people jumping from first floor, touting and all that opposite. And I told Sri Ram, I said, that something is wrong here. I first thing went to my door and saw whether the latches are there. And I was looking at all these things. And then finally we came to know it was a terrorist people who caught Israel, were caught inside. They were with their red tracksuits, black mask, and a black bag. He was roaming up on the second floor.
Okay.
Oh, that was terrible. And then in the evening, they brought all these athletes. We are looking at that from our house. They brought the athletes down. They put them in the car of the police van, and one of them sat near the driver. And they took them at the airport. And then after that, we came to know that all of them died
Okay.
at the airport. That was really a terrible. And the games were cancelled for the one day. And the second day, I had to run this 5,000 meters. It was really like
It affected your performance also, right? I mean, because of that event.
we were thinking of what is happening, all these things. I really got very scared of that. I was also a member of the three Asian team, which went in 68, 69, and 70.
Okay.
Member of the Asian team. The Asian team went to Europe, and we participated in Europe. 8 international meets there, and that was the getting training for participating in Europe. That was really this great thing. But also that one good race I had ran in Russia. In 1968, 5 members team of India went to Russia. And I ran in Georgia state, one of the states in Georgia state in Baku.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I ran there the 1,500 meters. Of course, it was quite cold. I had to put my tracksuit plus my blazer to warm up. Because
Okay.
we were not pros, we were very, you could not warm up properly.
Yeah.
And Dr. Pelzer said, if you are running with all these world-class things, that you are a world-class runner. And that is how you should run. And so I ran the race for 1,500 meters and I stood first. And
Oh,
I created
okay.
a new Baku record with 3 minutes 44 seconds.
Okay.
Of course, the other timing was 3:43.7. 3:44 I did by creating their state record. That was also a medal that I got for my country. That I was looking at the medals that I'm going to get. That
Very
was-
nice.
yes.
I mean that attitude also gave you 32 international medals.
Yeah. I ran in Malaysia in 1969. We went to Malaysia and Singapore for the international meet. And I was the captain of the Indian team to tour Malaysia and Singapore. And I won 3 gold medals there. And I also ran a relay for India.
Okay. That's nice. So your records, have stood for many years. Your 1,500 meters record stood for more than two and a half decades before it was broken. And it was broken by Bahadur Prasad. So, yeah, why? What were the reasons? It stood for so long.
See, the first thing is that India never had a synthetic track. when we were running. We were running on the cinder track or grass track in Patiala and everywhere in India. So if I had a synthetic track for training, probably I would have gone and won medals for the country more, and my timing would have come down. What I was fighting is improve my timing, because doctor said you run for time, not for place. So that is the place where we could not get a synthetic track at all. And afterwards, after some years, the Patiala put up 3 tracks of synthetic track for training. But if I could get it earlier, I would have trained very hard for that on the synthetic track, because we were running in synthetic track everywhere.
You had also a very interesting meet with Bahadur Prasad after he broke your record, both the national as well as the railway record also. Tell us something about that meet, because I found it very interesting to read about it.
Well, Bahadur Prasad was always training on the synthetic track and all that, and he has improved. He was a good runner, can't say anything. But this was a tough record that I created, because it stood for more than 27 years. And after Bahadur broke the record, I met him. And he says, Eddie, yes, I know. Records are to be broken. I said, I'm very happy that you have broken. And you have to improve your timing, run for timing. He said, I will run for timing, as Dr. Ottopezza told me. And so he says, yeah, I will do that. I will do that. And he improved a little bit from 43.
A lot of respect also shown by him, right? He touched your feet and said, I'm sorry for breaking a record.
Yeah, yes. I said, doctor, that records are to be broken. Isn't it? Records are to be broken.
But it's amazing. It's amazing that your state record is still there and you don't think it will be broken.
No, state record is still there, which I created in 61.
60 years.
Yeah, it is about 58 years old. I doubt anybody will break it. But still, records are there to be broken. It's a long-standing record, state record. And now there is no mile race. That record is also there with my 1966 onward. Now there is no mile race.
Okay. So for a mile 401 was the best time you had, or did you run a 4-minute mile also?
I ran, but I could not go below 4 minutes.
Okay.
Only in the Commonwealth Games, which I missed that barrier of 4 minutes. If it was 4 minutes, 0.1 second, I would have had to just run a little more. I could have been the first man in Asia to dash that below 4 minutes and be the first man in Asia to go below 4 minutes.
Yeah, okay. So we have had a lot of, I had a lot of reading about you as an athlete, but very few things are known about you, Eddie, as a coach. So can you just tell us about Eddie as a coach?
You see, I was working for Tata Steel. And Tata Steel gave me all the benefits. My leave, my look after me, everything for last 14 years. And so I decided that whether to take up coaching line or office line. This I had to choose. So I thought that I will take up the office line, because they are the people who looked after me, giving me leave with pay that nobody could do. And that is how I worked very hard in Tata Steel, looking after. I had the privilege of working with J.R.D. Tata, late J.R.D. Tata, Ratan Tata, Sabawala, Rusi Modi, then Hussain, Dr. Irani, all of them I worked with, because we had 2 companies placed with us. And I looked after them. I know what it is to work, and it was so nice to work with the company. I will never forget, because I worked for 36 years.
Okay. So how was the interaction with J.R.D. Tata, sir?
What is that?
How was the interaction with J.R.D. Tata?
Well, let me tell you about J.R.D. Tata. Very good question you asked me, and the people would like to know about this, about J.R.D. Tata. When J.R.D. Tata got the Bharat Ratna, Understand, we had a big celebration at the NCPA when you got the Bharat Ratna. And on behalf of the Tata companies, the boss told me to speak on JRD Tata because you know about JRD Tata and all that. And I spoke at the NCPA for the function that was held there on 31st March 1992. I can never forget that because that was the year which I spoke on JRD Tata. I can also say about JRD Tata, I was told by late Sabawala, who was there in JRD Tata's cabin. He told me, Eddie, from now onwards, you will be looking after JRD Tata whenever he goes abroad. And I said, yes, I will go. So Mr. Tata, first thing when I went in his cabin, Mr. Tata said, have a seat, Eddie. I said, yes, thank you. And he said, I'm going by British Airways at 12:30 in the morning. Sorry to keep you awake. I said, no problem, sir. What time you want me to come at the airport? I said, yes, sir, 12:30 in the morning is the flight. You come at 11:30. Why 11:30? He says, I'll come at 10:30, 2 hours before. And then look at the watch. At 10:30 sharp in the night, his car, Peter, his driver, brought him at the international airport where I was standing. And the moment he got out from his car, he asked me, Eddie, how are you going home? I said, sir, I will get a taxi and go. No. He said, well, his driver, Peter, drop Eddie home. See how he looks at others. And the other thing, when I took his bag and went to the British Airways counter, the manager of the British Airways said, give me the passport, I'll give you the boarding pass. I gave him the passport, and Mr. Tata said, take away that passport away from him. So I told him to take that. I took the passport away from him, and he says, Eddie, your first time you are with me. See, there are 3 people standing in the line in the first class. So they are paying the same fare that I'm paying. So let us stand in line there. So I stood in line. And after getting that, I went to the immigration. There was a senior inspector there waiting also for us. And he was saying, sir, you can go in. He says, no, we'll stand in the line. And he went inside, and I had a blue pass with me because I have got 2 companies' planes with him. He went inside, we got it checked up. He went down, we went down together near the British Airways. He says, we got still time here, Eddie, you go home. You have to sleep. Okay, sir. And I went out. And that was the thing which I can never forget about Mr. Tata. He is the man, I'll tell you.
Wonderful. Such a lovely story, and I'm sure listeners or listening would also enjoy, would be happy to hear the story. I was also asking, did you do any coaching stint? Did you actually coach, be as a coach?
No, I have not at all, because I had no time for coaching, because my duty was such a duty. We had 2 companies plane at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, come back. We don't know what time I will be there. If people in Bombay House, they will know what type of work I was doing. It was a 24-hour job. So if you're coaching, then you can't go on the field so much. But I was giving little advice to certain people who was coming to me. I was giving them.
That's nice. In fact, I saw a picture of you giving the medal to Simon, sir. One of the pictures, what he had put. So you are also in the university grounds in Bombay.
Yeah. Giving there. And believe me, JRD Tata never missed a single athletic meet when he was coming to the university ground. All Tata athletic meets, he was present. And he used to mingle up with all these athletes.
Okay. There's a question coming from one of the runners. His name is Pandurang Kadam. So he's asking you, sir, he wants to improve his pace in 10 kilometers. His target is around 3 minutes per kilometer. Any advice you can give him for improving his pace, sir?
Best, I was doing all my interval trainings. Dr. Pelter was telling me to interval training. That means you run 300 meters, 1,000 meters, and short interval training and all that you should do. So that was the training that I was doing. At the time, I was doing uh, 1200 meters, 600 meters, 300 meters, and 150 meters. 4 sets I was doing to improve my speed and the stamina. And in the morning, I used to run about 1 hour, jogging and going round and round to have the stamina on the line. That is what my training was, more on fartlek training. And whenever I used to come to Bombay, I used to run with my club people and go on the Juhu beach, run on the sand, run on the uphill running, step runnings, little weights, and not heavy weights, light weights. All these things we had program, including my basketball also with my club. So that is how
Wonderful.
we were training, you know. We all of us were training together as a club.
Okay. Now, when you look at it, nowadays the training programs is almost same for everyone. There's hardly any change, and it's shared by everyone. Why are the athletes from the African nations, much better than the world?
Well, these people are so strong. They run on the fields, they run on the roads, they run everywhere. And they are very, very strong runners. But mine was important for interval training running on tour.
So interval training they are doing very well.
Yeah, interval training I used to do, and long distance running I used to do a lot. In the morning, I used to go for 1 hour run everywhere, easy running everywhere. Every morning, I was running for 1 hour. And
Okay.
evening, I used to do my schedules, which were given by Otto Pelzer for me. On
Okay.
the and off-season training was done with me with my club, the sand
Okay.
running. Sometimes I used to go to Goa also, running in the beach because I wanted loose sand to run from uh, Baga Beach to Sikeri, where the Taj is. And when I used to run uphill at the Taj and come back again in the loose sand. I should tell my mother, let's go for 2 weeks for training and then go to Patiala. This is what I was doing.
Okay. That's nice. So, how many days you used to train in a week?
6 days. 6 days.
6 days.
Sunday I used to have a little rest. 6 days
Okay.
training, but really tough training. You can never forget. The one which I used to train was very tough. I don't wanted anybody to disturb me while I'm running or
Okay.
training. I used to come on the university ground also, do my training along with all the schedules which were given by Dr. Otto Pelzer. And I used to keep on improving. And I used to send him the message saying that I have done this race, I have done that. I used to give him the schedules. And that is how he used to feed me. He says, yes, now you do this, this, this. That is how he used to tell me.
So the correspondence would have been mostly by mail,
Mail, mail, yeah.
by post or telegrams.
No, by mail. Sometimes I used to speak to him on the phone and say,
Ah,
this is
okay.
what I, yeah, I used to speak to him on the phone. But he was the man, he was always guiding me in the right direction, what to do, how to do, and all that. But I wanted to improve my timing in 3:43.7 seconds, but could not do it because there was no synthetic track for training here.
Yeah. It came in late.
It came very late. It came very late.
Yeah.
I
It
wanted
came in
that.
late. Just like you started running late, so and you also shifted to 5,000 meters late. The track also came late, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody after that, they were telling me to take a marathon also.
Ah,
I said,
okay.
it's a big this one.
Yeah,
That's
you don't like running long for longer periods of time, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I used to run a lot for country. All I wanted is a medal for the country. That is what
Uh,
I went to Sri Lanka also. I created the new newcomers record there. Malaysia and Singapore, again, newcomers record there. I kept on improving my timing, Everywhere I went, I used to run. Of course, most of my time was in Germany,
Okay.
training for in Germany. I was training with Camper, the world record holder, Norfolk Harold, the silver medal Tokyo, and Hillen, the world champion of the university. All of them were there, and we were training together. And they train
Okay.
what in the forest and all these things, you know. They have got a
Okay.
big forest which will go to 10 kilometers away. And we used to run in the forest and then come on the track. That is how we used to run.
Like a trail running, you used to do that.
Yeah. But it
Okay.
was pleasure to run with them and train with them.
Okay. So, I mean, if you look at athletics during your time and now a lot of sponsors and money is being poured into events and athletics. But why are we still lagging behind when it comes to winning medals, sir?
Well, I really don't know why the things are not improving at all. Because I don't know whether this coming athletes, they don't have that determination or dedication or willpower to say that, yes, I want to win the medal for my country. That is not there with them, I think. Because I personally feel that nothing is improving at all. If you look at the timings of the people, oh my God. And you look at my record, which stood for 27 years. After that, only it was broken. And how many people are doing that? That was the only thing I was. Now there is a lot of money training, and they require more training abroad, competition and training. That is important for us.
Okay.
I still have a lot of competition there.
That's nice. So I'm coming to my final question of the evening, sir. We've been speaking for 1 hour now, almost. I wanted you to tell if anyone wants to become an athlete like you, what are the things they have to do, and what advice would you give them so that they can become an athlete like you, sir?
Well, more important thing is their determination, dedication, and the willpower. These three things, if you don't have, it is not possible to become an athlete to the world standard or win medals for the country. That is very important, and that is the one that they should have. It's not looking at people, you and say, well, I want to be a state champion or national champion. They have to aim something high to win medals at the Olympic Games, Commonwealth Games, or the Asian Games.
Okay. So thank you very much for your time, sir. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and the interaction has been excellent. A lot of people have come in and said thank you. I just wanted you to be in the studio, but I'll just say thanks to my audience also. So thank you very much for coming in, sir.
Thank you.
So just be in the studio, sir. I'll just talk to you in a minute, sir. So thank you very much for all of you for tuning in. It's been really wonderful to hear about Eddie sir's determination. And I love the fact that, the first thing what he wanted to do was not to be a national record holder or state record holder. He wanted to win a medal in the Olympics. And that was in his first year of being an athlete at the age of 21. He had this dream of representing India for the Olympics, despite not coming and being in the Olympics for 2 Olympics. He still managed to achieve his dream in 1972 with the 5,000 meters, and he represented India in Olympics. He's been an excellent athlete for India, and a lot of youngsters can learn from his determination. So thank you very much for tuning in. I will come back to you with the next week's schedule very soon. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.